So in this video, we are going to be going over how to use ads properly and how to use it effectively to actually grow your business. I am joined with
Kyra. I'm currently starting out growing my own business. So these questions can be vital for me and learning from Luella, who's basically an expert. So yeah, we'll just get into it. Right. So what makes somebody stop scrolling when they see an ad?
Well, firstly, I'd say it depends on the client itself and it depends on the business. So, for example, if it was a skincare business who's like topicals, for example, if it's a skincare business targeting, I was going to say women, people with certain skin issues, what's going to make them stop compared to like someone else? Basically it's all different. So for example, with them, I'd talk about their pain points. If you, for example, are their target customer and you suffer with hyperpigmentation or chronic skin issues, whatever it is, I would then make sure rather than having just like silly, oh my God, crazy hooks and whatever, make sure I have basically someone that looks like you in that video suffering with that issue that's going to address their pain points. So for example, that person might say, I've been suffering with hyperpigmentation for X amount of years. I've never felt confident in my skin. And finally, I found a product that actually solves that. That's going to make them stop scrolling because it's addressing their issue. It's talking about their pain point. And if my product or that product is my client's product is going to give them a solution, then they're going to then click on that ad and they might not buy straight away, but they've stopped, it's piqued their interest, and now that seed has been planted. So yeah.
What is one hook that almost always works?
One hook that almost always works. Again, it's going to be difficult because it depends on the customer, on the client, but that always works. A problem-solving hook, I think, is always going to work. Oh, like I said, oh my gosh, I could never find something that worked for my skin and suddenly I found this product. Maybe people like drama as well. I feel like one company that does this really well is High Smile. They, the teeth white. Have you seen their ads?
Yeah.
Even I like none of my clients are teeth whitening companies, but I always look at their ads to be like, okay, how can we incorporate this? Because they always have like silly little drama that piques interest. It's like, oh gosh, I saw one the other day.
This is the guy responsible for blue cheese, pickle, a protein toothpaste, and now something much more sinister.
Last year, High Smile Guy went viral for sabotaging our lab.
We need to talk.
He got fired, then rehired, and then banned from being in our videos.
But now, our hands might be forced. You see, High Smile Guy's gone and negotiated over 15 collabs with your favourite brands.
You may have seen the Barbie, Chupa Chups, and Simpsons collabs. They were all him, and he's got an even bigger list. Now he's demanding to be back in the spotlight, or he walks and takes what could be the biggest flavours we'll ever make with him. So we have a decision to make. I need you to either comment, let him cook if you want him back with the collabs, or lock him up if you want him gone forever. I need you to comment one of the two before we make the wrong decision.
And it was just like something silly that even
Do they still do ads? I feel like I used to see them.
They push out a lot of ads. You're right. I haven't seen a lot. Like I've seen only because
I feel like a year ago maybe I was seeing loads and loads, but now like less.
It's only because I stalk their ad account, so I go in. But I haven't seen it like on my actual feed. So maybe you're right. But yeah, people like drama too. So, for example, they had one that was like, oh, someone got fired over this at our company, and it was because then it like revealed they'd been putting free teeth whitening products in the packaging for customers, and obviously people are like, oh my God, I want a free product, or why did they get fired? And it piques their interest. Realistically, if you can get someone because everyone's attention span is so short, if you can get someone to stay beyond, I don't know, 3-5 seconds, that's already piqued their interest, and they either are going to stay for the rest of the duration of the video, or you've planted that seed again, so when you retarget them and they see the ad, they're going to stay a little bit longer.
Yeah. What are your opinions on like short form series that brands are doing? So I think it's called the Brooklyn Coffee Shop, them kind of series.
I haven't seen the Brick Lane. I've seen the American one where they have celebrities come in. What is the Brick Lane one?
No, Brooklyn, the American one.
I thought you said Brick Lane. I was like, I don't know about Brick Lane. I'm about Brick Lane. But okay, I know where they have celebrities and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. And it like serves as entertainment, because even though like, okay, I'm not and it's obviously serving to me and I'm halfway across the world, but like now I'd want to try that when I go over there to see what it's like. Exactly. I feel like it piques interest, and like there's different content pillars brands can use to bring in customers and harness engagement, but like doing a type, because it's like entertainment, they have different celebrities on or different influencers on, and they don't necessarily talk about the coffee, and they don't say that, because it's a coffee shop or a cafe, they don't necessarily say, oh, coffee is the best. It's like, I don't know, they had Ryan Serhan in, and I love Ryan Serhan. He's like a real estate guy, and he was like coming in and talk about, oh, well, I need this, and like it was a funny one, and I was like, oh, okay, I recognize his face now. What's this brand? So I think it's pretty cool. And what's another one? I saw another brand do like, I can't even remember, but it did pique interest. Again, it depends on what. Now, I'm not a massive content person. My expertise is more so ads. But from what I've seen that has worked well with content, it's more so understanding your content pillar. So I think it works well when you use it in collaboration with other things. And I'm sure like customers don't want to be constantly pushed, you should buy this, we're so great. Yeah. They want a mixture of different content that they're going to like and engage with, and that's going to interest them. So I think it's a good content pillar.
Yeah, I think on socials people are constantly being sold to. Exactly. So with that kind of content, it's kind of like a value exchange. It's like, okay, I give you my attention, I'm looking at your brand, but I'm also being entertained, which I think probably would work a lot more better nowadays, because you know, every second ad.
Exactly. And even with ads, like I do ads all the time for a bunch of brands, and like in the ads that I do, a lot of them isn't like pushing for, again, we're so great, this is our product. It's building trust, because you have to do exactly. Like one thing I learned recently as well, because I started using Triple Well for one client a lot more, is basically like you just see everything that's like, this is not good, but everyone thinks they're not being tracked. They are being tracked. Like Triple Well is great because you can literally see. For one of my clients, I was literally looking at, like, someone brought a product and I was looking at the customer journey, and it was 3 months from when they saw the first ad to when they 3 months. So you can literally see. I don't have this whole like, oh, don't have cookies, or I don't want to be tracked. They're still tracking you. We could see, okay, this client, it took them 3 months, and obviously it helps with knowing how customers going about buying, but they saw the ad on Google, so they saw when they were typing how I want to best, I'm not going to say what the product, best product, blah, 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 I'm not going to say what the product was. They clicked on the ad, they didn't buy then and there, but obviously piqued their interest. Then they saw the retargeting ad on Meta, so on Instagram, they clicked on that, and then we saw they went to the website, and then we could see that they also saw it on Snapchat. So this is all the same customer, and this was like a period of maybe over 3 months, so it wasn't straight away. And yes, it's good for the brand. I'm just saying, obviously you're being tracked, it's still the case, but that then informs me to say, like, I can now see that, okay, especially for a higher price product, this client their products are higher price. I could see that, okay, it's taking on average 2 months or 3 months for someone to see it initially, then they get retargeted. And with that knowledge, I know if you're gonna buy, I don't know, a set of a suit, let's just say, and it costs £500, you're gonna see it on Google. And the ad that I serve you on Google is going to be like, oh, this is just an awareness ad. This is what the brand is. But then when I retarget you on I was going to say Facebook. You wouldn't really be on Facebook. On Instagram, it's going to be like, oh, a building trust ad. And then that's
so
going to...
is that what you call the funnel?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So you're moving someone through the funnel. And again, this is why I always say it's dependent on the company, because different funnels are going to be different for every company. And me seeing on Triple Well, it takes on average the customers this amount of time, because it's a higher price product. I'm seeing that I need to make sure that you're first aware of the company, but then for the next retargeting ad, I'm not going, Curry, you need to buy this product. This is why we're so great. Oh my gosh, buy us now. It's like, now I'm showing you an ad with someone that looks like you in the same suit that you want to buy. And you're like, oh, she looks like me. We have the same body type. Oh my God, this looks great. This looks really nice. Then the next one might be the founder talking about why she started the company. And now it's piqued your interest more, because you're like, oh, okay.
You know, exactly. From her.
Exactly. And then boom, 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, they're spending £300 on a suit.
So the strategy is real. It's like they're groundwork.
It's thought out. Yeah.
So what would you say is like where the conversion happens? Like, is it on a specific platform?
Again, depending on the customer. I mean, why do I keep saying customer? On the business. If it's a hair extension company and you're targeting 20, let's say you're targeting 18-year-olds, you're going to be hanging out on what? Snapchat and TikTok and Instagram, compared to if I'm targeting, I don't know, I'm a scarf company for over 50-year-olds. Where are they going to be hanging out? Facebook, maybe TikTok, but more so Facebook. If I'm targeting lawyers and accountants, I'm more so going to be, exactly. So it depends what platform they're on. I did forget the question. What was the question now?
What's one hook that almost works? But you probably gave me a better answer than the question.
Okay.
But anyways, what is better early on when starting a business? Let's just say it's like a e-commerce brand, like hair, beauty, whatever. Is it best to do organic content or paid ads?
Personally, and everyone, I suppose maybe different people will say different things. I think I've had people come to me and booking calls and say, I want to start ads straight away, and they have 300 followers on Instagram and they're not bringing in any profit or any money at all. I say, I'm going to be honest with you. Look, I could take your money and try and run ads, but I can see that. Personally, I've seen brands that already have a social following. Even you don't have to, I'm not talking about millions or millions of followers or like 500k or anything like that. You could even have at minimum 5k on Instagram or 10k on Instagram and a proof of concept that you're actually bringing in sales organically. Then we can then push ads and bring in people that way, rather than being like, okay, straight away, I'm only going to rely on ads. Because yes, it's good to have money coming in through ads, but if you're not having it through different ways, whether it be email, whether it be organic, I personally don't think that's the way to go.
Yeah. And what do you think it is? I feel like all these questions are very similar, but what do you think it is that makes an ad not feel like an ad?
That is a good question. Just like, okay, UGC works really well for one, just having like people naturally say this is why they like the product or this, that and the other. Maybe not making it too text heavy, like, okay, basically I just say making it organic to the feed. So the content that you usually see on Instagram or usually see on TikTok or whatnot, you want someone to think, oh, okay, this is just part of what I'm seeing normally. And then boom, okay, there's a link there or whatnot. So yeah.
What is better, polished content or natural UGC?
I would say, personally, I think a mixture of both, but also in this, I feel like maybe back in the day, I'm actually like I'm an old goat, but like overall UGC, because people are a lot less trusting for super polished studio content. They want to see someone in the, again, going back to skincare, or let's say hair extensions, they want to see someone putting in the hair extensions, what it's going to look like, someone, whether it's clippings or whatnot, not necessarily like, okay, just the hair and the studio, or like, I don't know, let's say if it's shoes, they just don't want to just see the model in the shoe, they want to see
you running, they want to see you running from the bus. They want
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's my last question. So I appreciate everything you've said. I think it's definitely going to be useful for people to learn what mistakes to avoid and learn what they can do to be growing their business. So yeah, thank you for that.
Alrighty. Okay. So yeah, hopefully it was useful. Hopefully you got some good tips. What were your key takeaways actually?
I think when you said about making the ads feel like part of the feed already, because I never even thought about that. Like if you're like, yeah, I think just that in general, like making things feel natural and not feel like an ad. And yeah, I think I definitely like the importance of UGC, because you don't always want to be told to buy something from a model, because it's gotten to the point where it's like, I'm not going to be the model just because I use that product. You want to see people who are really like you, see their journey, and yeah.
Alrighty, okay. Right, we'll see you in the next video. And yeah, also, if you want to learn more about not necessarily ads, but business and how to grow your business, I'm hosting an event in the summer. Every video now is going to be linked to that. But yeah, the tickets will be out soon and there's going to be a great lineup. We'll see you there. Peace out.